Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I hope they're coming back.
I'm sure they are.
Is Maya still with us?
Yeah, she's down there.
I'm going to call you either this evening, Maya, or tomorrow. Is that okay? Okay. I need to ask you your opinion on something. I want to try something. We'll see. I'm not dressed well today, so I don't want you to reject my phone call because of my attire. Hey, Arthur, Nicola.
Good.
Thank you,
Good.
Ada. Thank you, Sid.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott.
What's up, Scott?
Keife, how you doing?
What's up?
Tessima.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tess.
If you have any questions, put them in the comment section.
Yeah.
Come on, throw your questions in and let us know what you're thinking.
Thank you,
Your
Scott. Thank you, Carolyn. Hey, Ivanka. Thanks, Sonia. Glad it helped, Ada.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad.
Yeah. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Sometimes you wonder if going that deep is at least I do. Sometimes think about not breaking the words down like to their roots,
Yeah.
and I wonder sometimes if it's too much to do that. But I
You
think it
apply it right.
works.
Yeah, you
I think
apply it
it
right. Yeah.
works.
It
Yeah.
does. It does. Yeah. So, well, some men might be offended by that, but they got to talk to God about that one.
Yeah. It's in the Bible.
Right.
It's in the Bible, and it was. I don't want you to miss the fact that it wasn't that they were female. It was
Mhm.
their cause that God supported. So it doesn't matter about gender. God gets with a righteous cause. So when you make sure your cause is right, he'll confirm it. He'll affirm it and say they speak right. Give them what they're asking me for.
Yep.
Hey, Ruth.
Sister Ruth, how do you think we're handling a pandemic, especially with a vaccine for kids?
How do you think we're handling the pandemic, especially with a vaccine for kids? My children are going to get it. Yeah, my children are going to get it. So
I want to do a little more research on the boys because they're finding out some of the boys are getting myocarditis.
what is that?
It's the inflammation of your heart.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, well, I think they're saying like some of the countries they want the boys to get one shot instead of two
Yeah.
to lessen that up. So
Yeah.
instead of get the second one, so they won't get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, it affects the guys differently.
Well, yeah. Our makeup is different.
And yeah, and the yeah.
Thank you,
But I'm
Tiffany. When you
yeah, but
finish
I'm
listening to it, let us know.
yeah. Shoot, but I'm all for it. Look,
Yeah, me too. Hey,
there,
Donna.
there, a fifth grader just died from it in Virginia. Just
Yeah.
you know,
Well, but every vaccine, I'm almost 70, Pastor Nick, which you
yeah.
know, every vaccine that they've ever released
Mhm.
has had some negative side effect on some individuals.
Yep.
There's never been one that I can remember
Yeah.
that someone did not have a reaction to that was,
Yeah. Yeah.
either severe or fatal. Just
Yeah. Yeah. They worked through
it's
it. Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, they tell the boys. I know it's going to be hard for our boys to relax some for like the first day or two after they
Yeah,
get the vaccine.
yeah,
No strenuous stuff.
yeah.
Just
Oh, they don't know how to do that.
right.
They don't know how to do
Yeah, yeah. It was a good start.
Thank you, D. Thank you, Robin.
If you have any questions, I mean, it was very self-explanatory. But if you
Yeah,
have any questions,
yeah. It actually picks up steam on the next one.
yeah,
Yeah,
yep,
if that's possible. It picks up some steam, man.
yeah, yep, yeah.
Yeah, it picks up a little steam.
So, do you approach it differently when you teach the men versus women?
What I try to do is address the current circumstances of the gender.
Okay.
Uh, in the faith, um, because men are imitators, they tend to imitate what and who is around them.
Mhm.
Um, so that means sometimes their pursuit of fulfillment has to do with an external discovery rather than an internal discovery.
Sure.
And then in the society that we're in, the requirements for manhood fundamentally are so few that we should not be surprised that we're raising men that cannot handle stress, do not like responsibility, blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
So when I'm thinking about a series, a gender series, I'm thinking about the challenges that gender has to face.
Okay.
So and this is in the church and in the world.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of men come to the church with the facade, and then it gets uncovered
Mhm.
because you can't really do that around God for long.
Yeah.
Um, women come with another set of challenges.
Mhm.
So, and they're dealing with another set. Uh, a lot of men have high salaries because they're men. A
Mhm.
lot of ladies don't have high salaries because they're female. So there's a cultural bias that I think has to be included in trying to minister to a woman,
Yeah.
uh, whether she's blue collar or white collar. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I think there's a difference.
Okay. How do you recommend that women stay the course in the face of adversity?
I think you have to stay close to the created image that God has given you. And if you're anything like I am, my battle is not being led by my feelings. Now, I'm never led externally by them, but the internal turmoil that I go through um, keeps me intentionally going back to the word, correcting myself. I'm sorry, Lord, that I thought that. Forgive me for that. I know I prayed about this. You know, your word says X, Y, and Z. So
Mhm.
there's an intentional recentering uh, on faith that I think is a great practice in the face of adversity, and that's why God tells Joshua 3 times in Joshua 1: "Be strong and courageous. Be strong and very courageous. Be strong and courageous." Not because any human element was going to defeat him, but because what was going to happen could distract him from what God has spoken to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I know you don't know who this person is, but I'm gonna just throw it up there. Have you ever
Mhm.
heard of a guy named Kevin Samuels? He's becoming popular with men and his opinions on women.
Who is Kevin Samuels?
He's a very controversial guy that talks about relationships online.
Okay.
Um, some of the stuff he says you can get with. Some of the stuff he says,
Is
he's
this the real harsh, aggressive guy?
yeah. But
Okay.
there's two of them, but if there's one in particular where his glasses kind of, I'll show you a picture of him later. Just
Okay.
yeah,
Because one guy I saw, he was, in my opinion, he was kind of ultra traditional,
Mm,
uh, women in the kitchen kind of guy.
he
Another guy, I don't know this other guy,
yeah,
but
he could be
I can't
kind of
recall their
harsh.
names.
He could be kind of harsh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why do you think he's harsh? Did he get hurt by a woman?
I'll talk to you offline.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
why, why some why some women that I know as a good man thought she could change him, even though she knew he was like he was from the beginning, but married him anyway, then decides to use him. will she reap not good things in her future?
Well, number one, she's going to lose him. Number two, she may lose him and he still be present. Because men, when they're in that type of situation after a period of time, tend to stay present but be absent at the same time. So she'll never get from him what God would like her to get. And then when you say you're going to change an individual, exactly what are you going to change them into? The only model you have is yourself. So what are you doing? Cloning yourself by trying to make a person change them into who you want them to be. And normally that's a reflection of who you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You create that thing, you won't get a Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Do you feel that some women unintentionally overdo their protection of boys? Good question. The boys they raise, especially being black in the USA.
I think there's such a delicate balance that has to be found. And I think there are times when you need to be overprotective and times when you need to be more liberal. And so most people make the mistake of having a set structure for discipline when it has to flex with the situation that you're in. That's what I believe. I don't think you can have a set of rules and they not be flexible.
Absolutely. Why would you want to change someone you love?
Because you don't love them. Some people just want the pattern. They don't want the material that goes along with it. They want to build something that they think will cater to them, but when in actuality you only build something that reflects yourself and the worst of yourself.
We have a question from Anonymous that you know.
Okay.
when it comes to overcoming, why do some women find it difficult or threatening to see other women overcome instead of celebrating the victory?
Jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of times we want the same rewards, but we don't want to exercise the same effort. Mm-hmm. We want honor, but we don't want what it takes to be honorable. We want acceptance, but we don't want to have acceptable behavior. So a lot of times we see something that we want, but we don't want to do what it takes to get it. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's in a lot of things in life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good question from an anonymous person.
Yeah, but you knew who it was.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We know who this person is.
Okay. So, any questions on the conversation, on the teaching?
Yeah.
I thought I was pretty explanatory, but
what if a vision comes when you're not praying? Is that from God, even though the vision is a good one?
It can be, yes. I mean, I think vision often comes as a result of prayer, but sometimes vision comes as a download. I've gotten just as many visions from a download than I have as I've been in prayer. I've seen flashes of things while we were sitting in service. I've seen a lot of visionary things while we were sitting in service worshiping God. So I think God is not restricted as to when he releases a vision. Yeah. Sleep, awake, you know, on the battlefield, at rest. I mean, he's ubiquitous when it comes to that.
Yeah. Yep. I was reading somewhere in Psalms. I cannot remember the darn chapter from last week, I think, where it talked about almost alluding to every time you think you have God figured out, he does something different.
Absolutely.
I can't remember the chapter.
But the Bible says his ways are past finding out.
Yep.
You know, so if you could figure him out, he wouldn't be God.
Yep. Yeah, man. Yep.
I don't want a God that I've got down to the T, man. Figure out everything he's going to do, know every move.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying more and more at this stage of my life to trust him with the unknown.
Yep.
To know what I know, to do my part, but trust him with the unknown.
Yep.
And that is the faith and receiving equation. Mm-hmm. In between the faith and the receiving is the unknown.
Yep. Yep. And
And we got to
faith,
trust him.
yeah, faith is for uncertainty, if you can
That's
say it
right.
like that. That's really
Yeah.
what it's for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Great is the mystery of godliness. All that, so much to see.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Comments? Excuse me. Okay, here we go. How do you deal with a husband that listens to his siblings almost about everything? Well, getting tired of it. I've started doing things alone. Am I wrong?
Well, I would say you guys need a mediator at this point, someone to talk between the two of you. But also, some adults don't understand why God says forsaking all others. It's because of being an adult means not allowing a sibling or a parent to encroach on the structure and the barriers, uh, the walls of your relationship. That everyone's invited, but influence should come from the people involved in the relationship in the first step,
Yep.
but not from people outside to the point that it's causing a problem. But then there may be a communication issue, um, Sister Av. It may be a communication issue um, that goes back, maybe even while you all were dating. So, and just in a quick thing, trying to find the source will help you understand why it's going on right now.
Yep. Yep. Can you please elaborate on the difference between guilt and shame?
Well, guilt is a feeling from something that you do. Shame is when you take on the identity of your wrongdoing.
Mm-hmm.
So shame is when you're branded by what you do or known by it. Guilt is the emotion that comes along with the wrongdoing.
Why do you think so many more women are entering higher education versus men? Something I'm gonna bring up on Point Saturday.
Okay.
It was in the news last week that less men are going to college compared to women. Does it make it
Well,
harder for women to find a mate?
I don't think it makes. I saw a lady last week who was the CEO of a Fortune 500, Fortune 50, one of the top 50 corporations in the country. And she said some of the greatest advice that her mother gave her was when she left her office and went home to leave her crown at the office. And she said it was the best advice she'd ever been given. And her and her husband had been happily married for 40 some odd years. Because when she went home, she wasn't trying to be the CEO.
Yep.
Just like a man can't go home and try
Yep.
to be the CEO.
Absolutely.
You have to be a different person. And
Yep.
some people don't understand that. You may boss people around all day, but when you get home, it's a different dynamic.
Yeah, still got to take the trash out.
Yeah. And you gotta have conversation.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is good. I think a lot of guys forget, no matter how much money a woman makes, no matter what position she in, she is still a woman. Just like a man, you could be a CEO. He is still, if you appeal to the man or the woman in the person.
And you're that before, but you're anything else.
Yeah.
You're a person before you're anything else.
Mm-hmm.
You're male or female before you're anything else. So if you only have a relationship with accomplishment, you got a real shallow relationship.
Absolutely. So, since you're talking about, I'll bring something up.
Go ahead.
Why do you think some men have an issue with a woman making more money than him? Because in that situation, she's a CEO. She's gonna make way more money, unless her husband is you know.
I think there's some issues there, and I've counseled quite a few. Some men will try to exert themselves in other areas of the relationship. And those areas are usually not productive. I think that if you have really built a relationship based upon the hearts of the individuals and not built it partially on accomplishment,
Hmm.
I think you can. That will work. But
Yeah.
if I feel like this, if a woman's making more money than me, I can spend hers easier than I can spend mine. So I'm not going to have an issue.
Hmm.
But it's just if it's ours,
Hmm.
and does that mean because you make more money, you're going to be the one to run downstairs when somebody's breaking in the house? No,
Mm-mm. Nope.
no. So it's just a matter of balancing the roles. And in this time we live in, with more women going to college and getting these degrees and getting these positions,
Yep.
you're going to have relationships where men are going to have to be very secure.
Hmm.
You're like a friend of mine. She's a very well known pastor. She married a guy that's not in ministry at all.
Hmm.
And one of the adjustments that he's going to have to make, and God ordained that they do make it, is her being that shining light and known so well in the community, and him not being known that well.
Yeah.
But women have been adjusting to that forever.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. I'm like, hey, I'm going to the mall. I'll see you later.
Yes, right.
I'll see you later.
It is someone put on Velcro shorts and hit the couch.
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing. He can't be just sitting home all day while she making more. Nah,
No,
man.
no, you
No,
got to
no.
go out and do something. Start a business, a real one.
Yeah.
Get a job. But you just can't. She can't walk past you laying on the couch every day and come back and you're laying in the same spot. That's just.
Nah, man.
But that to me, that's not a man.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree.
That's not a man.
Totally agree. When God bless you with answered prayers, is it okay to boast on God? Because I know the word says, do not boast.
It's called a testimony. It's called a testimony, Robin. You encourage other people's faith by testifying about what God is doing in your life. But you do have to do it with humility, because sometimes you can leave God out by your tone.
When you speak about shifting the culture, are we speaking about the women beyond us, the woman beyond us?
No, I'm talking about whoever hears this, God has equipped you to shift the culture. And that each individual, according to what I read in the Bible, the times are supposed to be known by your productivity that you exist in that time.
Hmm.
So this is every individual that God has created. There's greatness in every individual that God has created. I believe that with all my heart.
Yep.
Because I believe everyone in the right environment, number one, the kingdom of God, and in the right pursuit, their genius that God has placed in them is revealed.
Hmm.
So a lot of frustration comes from us not finding the place where our genius can be revealed.
So true. Everybody thought the other day, there isn't a shortage of males, there's a shortage of men. Am I wrong on this thought?
You're absolutely
Totally
right.
right. You are right.
Absolutely right, Maribel.
Yeah. Any other questions out there? Oh, it's a good one. Why do men act macho when it comes to us showing our emotions versus women?
It's a cover up.
Mm.
Macho gives you an excuse not to communicate, not to relate, not to be truthful in revealing your emotions, not to answer questions, to act in a brutish way. There's a difference between acting macho and being strong. So, it's just macho is a mess.
Yeah.
Macho is a mess.
Hmm. Yep. Any other questions? It's almost 7 o'clock. That went by quick.
Man, that went by fast.
Yeah. 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 A lot
You
of
gotta
boys
go.
aren't. Sorry,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
saying a lot of boys aren't taught how to deal with their emotions, talk through their
Oh
emotions.
no, no,
You know,
no.
they teach the girls that, but don't teach the boys how to.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately.
And then you get older and you don't know how to express yourself in tense situations, and you resort to what you know, and it usually is violence or some, over exaggerated act.
Yeah.
Um, and that's not productive. It's not helpful at all.
Not one bit. We as men have to be strong. We're in the Bible. Who was a strong woman under God?
Where in the Bible,
Yeah.
yeah, in other words, who were the strong women? They're
Yeah.
from beginning of the Bible to the end of the Bible.
Yep.
You know, you take a look at Deborah in the Old Testament. You take a look at Phoebe in the New. You take a look at Mary in the New. You take a look at Rebecca in the Old. I mean, it's just over and over again. You see the strength of females.
Yep.
And you know, you look in Proverbs, and the epitome of what God says a woman is capable of is in Proverbs 31 or 30, which is 31 or 33.
31, I think.
Scott, you always call me. What you mean? Can I call you this week? Okay, we lost it for a minute. Scott, you always calling me, so just call. It's cool. Knowing you since you was a little boy, man. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a muscle spasm in my eyes. What causes that?
Might need some glasses.
Yeah.
Might need some glasses. And you could be having a stigmatism.
Mm.
And what a stigmatism is a spasm. So the best
Yep.
thing to do is go see an ophthalmologist and let him check you out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anonymous statement?
Yeah. She makes more money than her husband. They work it together. Ties, saved, invest together.
That's good. That's how you do it.
Marriage is a team.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Come to an agreement.
Yeah. I think there's a woman, she making millions of dollars. She retired her husband. He was a police officer.
Okay.
He worked hard to help her build her business. He
Okay.
worked so she can do her thing on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And then it started kicking in. Then there was this big controversy over her retiring him. And she's like, he spent 20 years working hard.
Time to retire.
Yeah, and he's retiring so he can do something else because she didn't want him on the police force anymore. Worried about him.
Mm-hmm. I don't blame him. Too violent out there.
Yeah, some of the women, I ain't retired my husband. He better work a job.
Come on off the job. That didn't mean he became inactive. That just means
Right.
he came out of the street.
Yeah, and then he started doing something different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, it's 7:01, y'all. We gotta get ready for homeschool. Oh no, we're off tomorrow.
Yeah, we are off tomorrow.
Yes.
But I'm not off. I got
we're working.
Ray's getting her I think there's dental appointments tomorrow and some other stuff. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be an errand day.
Yeah, we're off from school tomorrow.
Part of the day.
Everything else.
Yeah,
everything
we
else
still gotta work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey Kevin.
Kevin,
How you doing, man?
what's up? Hope all's well.
Yeah, kiss that baby for me, man.
Yep.
You have a good week too.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah. Don't forget
Appreciate it. Spread the word, y'all. 10 times better women. Spread the word.
Yeah. Yep. You want to do this one last one? Speaking.
What is it? Marcella?
Speak on our stuff being held in the impossible.
Okay. God gives us faith to enter into the realm called the impossible. In the realm of the impossible is where most of the kingdom finds its place. So when God says all things are possible, nothing is impossible, he is talking about a realm which is a normal for the kingdom, which is why your Bible is an inventory of things that appear to be invisible, that appear to be impossible. So God, by faith and through the Spirit of God and the Word of God, we're able to enter into the place of impossible and pull out all of our stuff. Most of the child of God's breakthroughs are in the impossible.
Yep. Absolutely.
But he's given us faith to step into that place.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, y'all.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all later.
Take it easy.
Bye, y'all.
They'll keep us on here all night. See y'all now.